519.
The gentleman from Colorado is recognized for 1 hour.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And for purposes of debate only, I yield the customary 30 minutes to my friend from Oklahoma, Mr. Cole, pending which I yield myself such time as I may consume. During consideration of this resolution, all time yielded is for purposes of debate only.
Without objection, the gentleman is recognized.
Thank you. And I ask unanimous consent that all members be given 5 legislative days to revise and extend their remarks.
Without objection.
Mr. Speaker, the Rules Committee met last night and reported a rule, House Resolution 519, providing for consideration of H.R. 3877, which is the Bipartisan Budget Act of 2019, under a closed rule. The rule provides 1 hour of debate equally divided and controlled by the chair and ranking minority member of the Committee on the Budget and provides for 1 motion to recommit. The rule also provides for consideration of H.R. 549, the Venezuela TPS Act, also under a closed rule. The rule provides 30 minutes of debate equally divided and controlled by the chair and ranking minority member of the Committee on the Judiciary and 1 motion to recommit with or without instructions. Finally, the rule provides same-day authority through the legislative day of tomorrow, Friday, July 26, 2019. Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased we're here today to bring up 2 important bipartisan pieces of legislation. And let me start with H.R. 3877, the Bipartisan Budget Act of 2019. For months, House Democrats have negotiated with the White House and the Senate in order to agree on budget levels for fiscal year 20 so Congress can complete all the appropriations bills and avoid another governmental shutdown like we saw at the beginning of this year. Despite resistance from my friends on the Republican side of the aisle, the House is well underway with the appropriations process. We've passed 10 of the 12 appropriations bills, which fund nearly 96% of the federal government. Unfortunately, the Senate has yet to take up any of the 12 appropriations bills, and in fact, none of the bills have even been marked up by the Senate. The Bipartisan Budget Act will set overall budget levels to avoid drastic cuts next year and allow House and Senate appropriators to negotiate final bills to avoid a shutdown and provide certainty to Americans and all the federal employees who work for them. Importantly, this bill will also raise the debt ceiling for the next 2 years. Put simply, we cannot put in jeopardy the full faith and credit of the United States of America. This bill rightfully provides the Treasury Department the ability to continue paying our bills and honor the commitments the U.S. has already made. While members on both sides of the aisle may not like everything in this deal, it is a compromise which supports critical investments for all Americans and I believe sets us on a strong path forward this fiscal year. The rule also provides for consideration of H.R. 549, the Venezuela TPS Act. This bipartisan bill was debated on Tuesday under suspension of the rules, and I was disappointed more of my friends from the other side of the aisle didn't join every Democrat, 37 Republicans, and 1 independent to help get to the 2/3 vote required under suspension. Venezuela is currently in crisis. Their democratic institutions have been corrupted under the Maduro regime, and according to the UN Refugee Agency and the International Organization of Migration, more than 4 million Venezuelans have fled the country. I want to applaud the work of Representatives Darren Soto, Mario Diaz-Balart, and my friend Donna Shalala from the Rules Committee for their work to advance this bill to provide temporary protected status for Venezuelan refugees already in the United States. That's why I'm glad we've included this bill in the rule today to ensure this bill passes the House as soon as possible. Overall, Mr. Speaker, this rule provides for consideration of 2 very important measures we need to get done before the upcoming district work period. I urge all my colleagues to support the rule and the underlying bills, and with that, I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentleman reserves the balance of